The night of March 7th, 2021, was supposed to be ordinary. A quiet evening in the U.S. Virgin Islands, calm waters surrounding the catamaran Siren Song docked in St. John. On board were two people, Ryan Bane, an American yachtsman, and his girlfriend, Sarm Heslop, a 41-year-old former flight attendant from Southampton, UK. By morning, Sarm was gone, never to be seen again. What unfolded after that night has become one of the most unsettling modern mysteries, one that raises more questions than answers, pulling in doubts, theories, and scrutiny that has refused to fade. Sarm Heslop wasn't a drifter or an adventurer living on the edge. Friends described her as full of life, deeply loved, with a knack for adventure but always grounded. She had met Ryan Bane through online dating in 2020, during the pandemic, and by all accounts their relationship moved quickly. She left the UK, moved onto his yacht in the Caribbean, and together they carved out a life many would envy. Crystal blue waters, sandy beaches, the freedom of living at sea. But behind that idyllic backdrop, something darker would unravel. On March 7th, Sarm and Ryan reportedly went out for dinner at a local restaurant before returning to the yacht that night. CCTV footage confirmed their presence at the restaurant. They were seen leaving together, walking back toward the dock, and then onto the dinghy that would take them back to the Siren Song. That was the last confirmed sighting of Sarm Heslop. What happened after remains clouded in contradictions and suspicion. According to Ryan Bane, the two returned to the yacht, and at some point, he fell asleep. When he woke up around 2 a.m., he claimed Sarm was no longer on board. He said her belongings, including her passport, her phone, and personal items, were still there. She had vanished without a trace, barefoot without essentials, from a boat anchored offshore in the dead of night. The official response was immediate, but flawed. Authorities were alerted, but Ryan Bane did not allow the Coast Guard to search his yacht thoroughly in the hours that followed. Reports later confirmed he had a lawyer present and refused requests for a full forensic search. That decision alone ignited public suspicion and fueled theories that something was being hidden. After all, if Sarm had fallen overboard, why restrict investigators from combing through every inch of the vessel? Search and rescue teams scoured the waters for days. Divers swept the surrounding areas, helicopters circled above, and shoreline patrols scanned for any sign of Sarm. Yet, nothing surfaced. No body, no clothing, no trace of someone who, if she had slipped or jumped overboard, should have been found in the clear Caribbean waters. That absence of evidence only deepened the mystery. The doubts grew stronger with every passing day. Friends and family of Sarm became vocal, urging authorities to investigate Ryan Bane more thoroughly. They pointed to his criminal record, a 2011 domestic violence conviction involving his ex-wife, as a red flag. Critics asked, was history repeating itself? Had something violent happened on board that night? CCTV footage from the restaurant confirmed she was alive and well just hours before she disappeared. But beyond that, the trail went cold. And with no access to the yacht's CCTV system, if there even was one, authorities were left with only Ryan's version of events. Theories began to swirl. The simplest explanation, one pushed early on, was that Sarm fell overboard while trying to leave the boat. Perhaps she slipped, perhaps she intended to swim, perhaps alcohol had played a role. But friends dismissed this, insisting Sarm was a strong swimmer, cautious by nature and unlikely to attempt anything reckless. Another theory suggested she had planned to leave Ryan and staged her own disappearance, but her passport and phone, her lifelines for any new beginning, were left behind. Those who knew her best rejected this idea, saying Sarm was not the type to vanish voluntarily, especially without contacting loved ones. Then came the darker theory. That foul play occurred on board the Siren Song. That something happened between Ryan and Sarm that night, leading to a cover-up. The refusal to allow a full search of the yacht loomed large over this suspicion. Why deny investigators access if there was nothing to hide? And why had Ryan waited hours before contacting authorities after she disappeared? Those questions remain unanswered. As the months turned into years, The case of Sarm Heslop became a symbol of frustration and heartbreak. Her parents, desperate for answers, have continued to push for renewed investigations. Each anniversary of her disappearance brings new appeals, candlelit vigils, and media coverage, but no resolution. The haunting truth is that without her body, the mystery remains just that, a mystery. No one knows whether Sarm is alive or dead, whether she slipped quietly into the sea that night or whether something far more sinister happened aboard the yacht. And yet, the world cannot look away. Cases like this grip us because they straddle the line between tragedy and suspicion, between accident and crime. The CCTV footage provides a glimpse of the final hours of Sarm's known life, but after that, the silence is deafening. As for Ryan Bane, he has never been charged in connection to her disappearance. He eventually sold the Siren Song, moving on with his life, while Sarm's family remains locked in limbo. For them, the pain of not knowing is unbearable. Theories will continue, doubts will persist, but only the truth, whatever it may be, can close this case. Until then, the disappearance of Sarm Heslop lingers as one of the most haunting maritime mysteries in recent years. A woman loved by many, a night that began as normal, CCTV footage that confirmed her presence, but no footage to explain her absence. A yacht that became a fortress of unanswered questions, and a family waiting endlessly for the discovery that could finally bring them peace. For more gripping stories like this, real-life mysteries, unsolved cases, and the truths hidden behind headlines, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Because sometimes the scariest stories aren't found in fiction, but in the mysteries left behind in real life.